Hey everybody, it's Patrick. It is Thursday. We're going to get to the 3-ingredient recipe in just a moment, but I wanted to let you know about something that's going on somebody else's channel. Vicki Eisenstein, who is a comedian from Chicago, has a sort of a Saturday Night Live weekend update news parody show that she does every Tuesday. It's called The Lunch Crunch, and on the past couple of shows I have been lucky enough to have a few of the jokes that I wrote shown on that show. So I'm planning on keeping submitting jokes for the show. They may get in, they may not, but no matter what, the show's pretty funny. So why not give her show a view? Why don't you take a look at it? I'm doing this because I will link it down here. Check out The Lunch Crunch on Tuesdays around lunchtime. Usually I'm on the East Coast around 1 o'clock on Vicki Eisenstein's channel, and stick around for the other stuff she does. She does some really great stuff on her channel. And if you do check it out, let me know, and see if you can spot the jokes that I've written for the past shows so far. So why don't we get started with our 3-ingredient recipe.
Mail call!
Mail call?
Yeah, mail call.
Is
it for you? Is it for me? I couldn't read it.
Yeah, this is for me. This is for me. It's from...
No present for me?
Well, I'll give you a present in just a second. How about that?
Okay.
So this is some mail that I've gotten that Blooper has given me.
Where's the present? I want the present. Roll on the present.
Okay. How about a cat?
Oh, I love cats.
There you go. Up. I did want to give a quick shout out. She said I didn't have to actually show all of this. I didn't have to open this on camera, but I did want to thank another YouTuber who...
That was a fun cat.
Oh, well, you ate her pretty quickly.
Yes.
Heckerdoodle, who is...
Heckerdoodle?
Yeah.
Isn't that a type of cookie?
Snickerdoodle is the cookie. Heckerdoodle is a YouTuber, and I will link her down below here. If you like...
Oh, look at that right there.
Yep. If you like... she does sort of Dollar Tree hauls, and she also is a crafter who puts together things like pocket letters and flip books, which I didn't know what those were until I checked out her channel.
Isn't that the thing where you, if you like the old-fashioned animation where you flip,
it's
things,
you know what, the
newfangled
newfangled flip books are more like a book where you open it up and it's envelopes filled with really cool tiny little treats.
Ooh, like an advent calendar.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Chocolates?
Yeah, these
chocolate chip cats.
I don't know. Maybe she
covered cats. That's what I like.
Chocolate covered cats flip book. And so I did want to thank you for all the cool treats that you gave me, including my first washi tapes. I've never had washi tapes. You can't be on YouTube without...
You wash with them?
No, you use them as decoration. So thank you so much for this, Heckerdoodle. Check out her channel. She's really nice, really wonderful stuff. And thanks for all this. We're going to be using all of it if Blooper doesn't eat it all.
Hey. So, are we gonna do some cooking, or are you just gonna keep talking about all those fun stuff and all these other channels that have nothing to do with us?
Well, you were you were nice enough to bring the mail, so why don't you tell me what you would like us to make with 3 ingredients?
Oh, you really want me to say?
Yeah.
I have a kind of craving, and I kind of like cupcakes.
Cupcakes? I thought you were going to... All right. Well, we could make cupcakes.
I was going to say cat, didn't you?
I did, and you know, I have to figure out something that would have cat in the word, but cupcakes, we can make cupcakes.
Cupcakes, I like cupcakes.
Have you ever heard of chiffon cake?
Chiffon?
Yeah.
Isn't that like the see-through fabric?
It is, but it's also a kind of cake. Have you heard of angel food cake?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so a lot of people outside of America don't know what angel food cake is. Angel food cake is a very light cake that's made with egg whites. There's no fat in it.
Not the way my mom made them. It was like a brick.
Oh.
Just fell right through the floor and dented it.
Oh, well, if you make it right, then it's made with whipped egg whites and flavoring. It's very, very light. Chiffon cake is just like that, only you use either the whole egg or you use oil. So what are we going to do this time? We are going to make some chiffon cupcakes.
I know, with eggs or oils.
We are going to make it with whole eggs.
Colors.
Nope, we're going to make it with 3 ingredients, and we will get to them right now.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Oh, it's eggs!
It is, it's eggs. Since we mentioned eggs before, we are going to use 3 eggs. We're going to...
3 of them?
Yep, we're going to separate the yolks.
Are those the 3 ingredients? Just 3 eggs? We make cupcakes with that?
All of my helpers think that if we have 3 of something, that's 3 ingredients. No, it's 3 types of ingredients.
Nothing else.
That's true. So we're going to use 3 eggs. They're going to be separated, but we're going to use the whole egg.
Whole egg. 3 granules of sugar, I would imagine.
You're just on fire today, aren't you?
I'm just razzing.
Yep, our second ingredient is sugar. We are actually going to be using 1/4 cup of just regular old granulated sugar.
Granulated.
Yep.
Granulated.
Granulated
Not
sugar.
powdered.
Not powdered sugar, not super fine sugar, not brown sugar, just good old-fashioned white granulated sugar.
Yum.
And our third ingredient is flour.
Chocolate cake flour.
Well, it's actually just cake flour.
Well, it says chocolate right on the box.
No, it says enriched cake flour. Do you need glasses?
Yeah, but the picture is a chocolate cake.
Yeah, but that's not the words.
Oh,
do you only read by looking at the pictures?
No one taught me to read.
Oh,
That's why I couldn't tell whose package that was.
Oh, well, maybe in another video we'll teach Blooper how to read.
A, B, X, Y,
Close enough.
P, S, T.
So we are using cake flour for this. You can use cake flour or bread flour. Bread flour will give you more of a muffin consistency, and cake flour is going to make it a little bit lighter. We're going to use 1/2 cup of cake flour. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to separate the eggs. I'm going to put the whites into a large bowl and then just keep the yolks separate for now. Large bowl is because I'm going to whisk these whites into meringues. Next, we're going to whisk our egg whites until they turn into stiff peaks. About halfway through the process, we're going to add our sugar in 3 small batches so that it incorporates in with the egg whites very smoothly. And you're going to mix it until you get stiff peaks and it's very glossy. Okay, we're about halfway to the soft peak stage, so now I'm going to just start adding the sugar just a little bit at a time so that it can dissolve into this meringue we're making without letting out too much of the air. You can tell you're at that stage if you tip this upside down and it doesn't fall out of the bowl. Be sure that you are ready to tip this upside down because if you do so and it falls out of the bowl, then you have to start all over again. So now we're going to start adding in the egg yolks. I would say add them one at a time, but my egg yolks broke. I'm not that great at separating eggs. So I'm just going to add them about 1/3 at a time. And I'm going to add this while I'm trying to keep as much air into this mixture as I can. All right, we now have our egg mixture. It's light and fluffy, filled with air. I'm now going to start adding in the flour. Again, we're going to want to put this in about thirds, and I'm going to fold this in. You can use the same spatula if you happen to start with that spatula. I'm just going to add 1/3 of this at a time. And the thing about folding is you don't want to keep this unmixed, but you also don't want to lose any of the air, or very much of the air, that you have worked so hard to get into the mixture. You can't rebeat the eggs once you've added the flour to add the air back in. They'll just deflate. So just take your time with this, add a little bit at a time, and try to keep it as light and fluffy as you have right now. Okay, this is all incorporated. As you notice, I've kept it as fluffy as I can while adding all the flour. Make sure there are no lumps of flour, you don't see any dry flour within this mixture. I'm now going to add this to my cupcake liners. If you are not using liners, or if you're just using a whole cake pan, make sure that you don't grease the cupcake tins or the pan. This mixture is so light, what's going to happen is it's going to crawl up the sides of the pan or the sides of the liner all by itself. And if you grease that, what happens is it has nothing to stick to and it'll just slide right back off. I think this should make about 6 cupcakes. We're going to fill these about 2/3 of the way full for each cupcake liner. If I have more, then I'll add a little bit more. All right, this made 8 cupcakes. I think that the last time I made these, I might have had larger cupcake tins, not a problem. I just had 2 more liners, so I added those. The last thing you're going to do before you put this in the oven is to just tap your pan just a couple of times on the counter. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but what you're doing is getting some of the air. You don't want any air bubbles in your cupcakes, because if you have big air bubbles, it's just going to obstruct them from rising. So you want them to be, the air to be within, in very small air bubbles. You don't want these big air pockets that are just going to make your cupcake explode. So all we're going to do is now put these into a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 20 minutes. Check on them after about 15 to 17 minutes, but don't open the oven door. This is very temperamental. It's like a souffle or an angel food cake. If you open the door and release the heat, it's going to stop moving up the sides of your cupcake liners. So now we're just going to put this in the oven. All right, so these are out of the oven. It took about 18 minutes. I didn't go with the full 20 because they were turning nice and golden brown on the top, and I didn't want them to burn. But you can tell when you kind of tap on the mic. You probably can't hear that because the microphone on my camera, my phone, isn't so great. But you can see a little bit of cracking on the top, so that means that they're really kind of bursting through. They smell nice. It does smell a little eggy. Don't be turned off by that. Remember, this is just eggs, flour, and sugar, so you're not going to have a vanilla smell or a brown sugar smell. These are very, very light in flavor. Chiffon cake basically takes on the flavor of whatever you put on it. So, as we talked about before, you can add other flavorings to this mixture. If you have a lemon extract or an almond extract or orange extract, that will flavor these very nicely. Now, these are puffed up nicely at the top. They will collapse just a little bit as they cool because this is just filled with air, but the flour gives it a bit of structure, and these are going to be really nice as soon as they cool down, and we can dig right into them. Wow, you really did want a cupcake, didn't you?
I told you.
So what do you think?
It was very light and airy and angel-y chiffon-y.
It was. So these are very light in flavor. They don't have any flavorings outside of sugar, so they're just going to taste light, airy. They do really well with, you could put jam on top of it. You could dip the tops in chocolate and do it, yep, like a chocolate ganache.
Cat flavored.
And if you want something to add something, it will be more than 3 ingredients, but you can add lemon to this, you can add orange to it, some sort of berry flavor, almond extract would work really well. Chocolate. You could add some cocoa powder. You may want to look into
Snozberries.
Snozberries?
Snozberries.
Oh, well, we'll see if we can make a snozberry chiffon cupcake next. But Blooper likes it, and so I think that works for all of us.
Yay.
Well, it was great having you back on the show, Blooper.
Thanks. I was wondering how long it was going to be before you invited me back.
Well, you know, sometimes...
I thought maybe you were punishing me or something.
What would I punish you for?
I don't know.
Did you do something bad?
I'm embarrassed.
Well, between now and next show, we'll figure out what Blooper did that made him worry about being on the show. But if you want to join us every week, we're here every Thursday with 3 ingredient recipes. What can they do if they want to keep up with us?
They can contribute down below.
Yep, you can
share things.
You can, yep, you can comment down below.
Say hi, maybe.
You can say hi to Blooper.
Send me some fan mail.
We don't have a place to send fan mail, but just leave a fan mail comment in the comments below for Blooper. He would very much appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And you can also subscribe. Subscribing means that you get notified when we have new videos. We're here.
Like this one.
Yep. We are here every Thursday with a new 3-ingredient recipe. We also do a couple of other things on this show, on this channel, I mean.
There's the cat show that's on the weekends
Yep.
that I'm not allowed to be on.
Yeah, George, the self-esteem cat, he's here on weekends to talk about being good to yourself.
Although I hear there's a new cat on this show.
Well, yep, Mama George sometimes shows up. Maybe you and Mama George can do a show together. I bet that
That could be interesting.
I bet that she would not put up with any cat eating at all.
Yeah, we have some casting problems with that if you follow my logic.
And on Tuesdays, I talk about long hair.
His long hair right here.
Yep, my long hair for men. So join us every week if you want to. If you have just stopped by once, good to see you. If not, we will see you again sometime very soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. So we're gonna make some food in this thing, or am I just gonna be talking about mail and all those presents you're making and all that good stuff?
All right.
Let's try that again.
I thought you were on a roll. Don't eat the cupcakes, cat.
There's a cat down there eating cupcakes.
She's eating the cupcakes. I gotta. No. Okay.